I am Vishakha Gupta, principal of Beacon High School and Junior College, which is located in Pune. I am a rigorous reader. I am a lifelong learner, a principal currently, and into the education fraternity for the past 25 years. The HRD ministry has awarded me for my commendable performance and continuous results. CBSE has awarded me with the Excellence Award. Also, there are a lot of agencies who awarded me, as I said, and I'm a speaker on a lot of webinars and seminars. Having worked across the entire country, I feel all the children are the same no matter where they belong to. They just need the love, the pampering, and the care that we as educators need to give them. As far as my current school is concerned, the current organization, Beacon High School, started in 2014 and it has grown ever since, and we are a K-12 school. We work with a lot of activities, a lot of fun, a lot of engaging work that my children do. They team up, they plan, and they execute, and we try and act as facilitators in taking our children ahead in life. We try and do our best with the aim that we prepare them for the unknown future of tomorrow. When I talk about the role of technology in the education sector, technology, especially after the COVID, has been realized to be the hand holder for the education sector. From things going from offline to online, back to offline, we've realized the hybrid model still continues. And it's very important. There are a lot of educational material which is available online, and we've realized that digital content and technology part, that goes hand in hand. Previously it was the chalk and talk method, but now I feel technology is playing an indispensable role with the smart classes, the TV screens in our classrooms, with the kind of parents wanting to check where the child has reached, and so we have the GPS system in the buses. All such things are nothing but technology. And so, for the safety of the child, for the better learning of the child, technology plays a crucial role, and it has been universally accepted, especially post-pandemic. All right, so when I talk about the education policy, which came after 34 long years, I feel that the current document is an intent document. When I say intent document, the policy makers have shown an intent of this is what we want to change or what the reforms that we want to bring about. Now, actual execution has to happen. An execution document has to be framed, and then gradually that is going to happen. Like, for example, when I talk about multilingualism, how will multilingualism happen in schools is a big question that school leaders have in mind. Also, when I talk about the NEP, there are some very beautiful steps taken as in the form of the senior education or integrating the pre-primary into the formal ambit of learning. Skill development, vocational education has been laid a lot of stress upon, which is the need of the hour. And if the child starts learning that from the school days, undoubtedly the child would excel in the future. And also with India talking about job givers, not job seekers, made in India, and entrepreneurship, the NEP is a welcome step. But yes, also it comes with a lot of question marks about implementation, which I feel surely would gradually be answered. And then we would surely see a beautiful sunrise of the NEP implementation in totality in the future. But right now, there are gray areas which need to be cleared, and an understanding has to come about their implementation. The good points were my team was better equipped in form of technology, because not all of them were so tech savvy before. They were excellent with their subject knowledge, but when I talk about working on the computer, making assignments, having Google Forms, making notes, some teachers had their concerns. But then post-COVID, all my teachers are beautifully trained with and equipped with technology. The kind of forms they make, the kind of PPTs they come up with, the kind of video lectures they make. It amazes me that these teachers were the ones who never had handled technology this way, and they can come out with such things. When I talk about the concern areas, my teachers and parents were highly concerned. The parents had a concern, my child is coming back to school after 2 years. Teachers were concerned, children coming back to school after 2 years, what's going to happen? Parents said, my child's grades are going down. What should I do? How will my child cope up? Learning loss was a big question or a big term being used. But believe me, again, my teachers have worked really hard. The way they have brought the children to a certain level, and the way we had to convince the parents and teachers initially to tell them, give us some time. We designed an entire strategy of how we want to bring the learning loss to the minimal possible, how we are going to bridge the gap. And the first 6 months were the months that we requested parents to give us. The parents trusted us. Even teachers had to be explained because things from the past years had to be revised and retaught with the current syllabi with them. They were a little nervous. But then the team worked beautifully, and I feel there's a lot of learning loss that we've been able to cover. Still, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. So I wouldn't say we have covered the entire loss, but yes, we've been able to do a lot of justice with whatever was the learning loss for the children. And parents also seem quite content and convinced and agree with the steps that we've taken. Believe me, my teachers and parents were very worried. Children, they've forgotten almost how to write. They're not into the habit of writing. We introduced a class test period, and these class test periods helped them because for a little portion they were tested. So they had to write those short answers, and gradually we brought them into the habit of writing. These small actions taken actually boosted the morale of the children that they could, of the teachers that children could, and the parents that yes, things were happening for the children which were positive. Going slow and steady, we have done and we've achieved certain milestones, and we plan to achieve more in the coming future. Yeah. As far as the plans of the institution are concerned, the institution has very clear and demarcated plans that we need to and we plan to work towards the welfare of the students, preparing them in skills. So we had skill development sessions. Every Saturday we have a flexible timetable. And in this flexible timetable, we had skill sets that were taught to children, because NEP said children should be familiar with skills. We said, let's introduce them to skills. And so when the children started taking up these skills, they enjoyed it. Parents were so very happy about children learning different skills. Also, we introduced AI, robotics, coding, and electronics for our children. And now, for the next academic year, we are setting up an exclusive robotics lab. Also, we introduced children to a lot of reading material. We enriched our library further. Along with that, we gave our students e-library that they could access at home. And this e-library, for example, if a child read a story, friendliness with the device continues, but at the same time, he is reading good literature because the e-library gives him that. After the child finishes the story, he has to answer a few questions based on the story. So that's kind of an exercise into comprehension, and he can move on to the next story only when he completes these exercises. So that was ensuring that the child has actually delved deep and they can make a choice of which story they want to read. Right? Besides that, we believe in a lot of exposure to inter-school and inter-house and inter-class activities. We believe in a lot of parent participation programs. So we have a concept called the parent participation program, where we invite parents over to the school to address children. We believe in a lot of visits. My children visited the IIHM, which is the International Institute of Hotel Management, and similar such places to understand how things work at the grassroots level. Because again, all these are things that the NEP wants. Besides that, we had a lot of talk sessions for our students. There were people from various industries coming over and addressing our children. So all these things actually motivated the children. Like, for example, today, Vijay Divas, we had an ex-army man coming to the campus, speaking to the children about avenues into the field of the military or the armed forces. So now, when we have people speaking to the children directly from these various backgrounds, the children understand. Like, one child got up and said, "What are the various ranks that are there in the armed forces?" So that told that the child is developing an interest. See, as a school, it is our responsibility to sow seeds of interest in whichever field the child wants to, and then the saplings start growing themselves. So we are trying to do all those things that are kind of propagated by the NEP, like skill development, vocational training, about industry contacts, about industry know-how into our curriculum already. Now, we also believe in a lot of cultural exchange. So we have exchange programs. During the COVID, we had exchange programs with schools in Switzerland and Africa. My students spoke about the Indian culture, whereas the children of Switzerland presented their culture, and there was a beautiful cultural exchange. So we propose to go ahead with more such programs in the future, and these things will carry on. Each year we try and add something more for our students. Like we have the value education team. So children learn, they discuss with each other of how a certain value is important in life. It is not simply preaching, it is a discussion. So then, as NEP says that the teacher has to be the facilitator, that we have already started putting into action. When I say educators, I just don't mean principals, I just don't mean coordinators, I also mean teachers. Teachers, please understand that even I am an educator. I love to be amongst children, I love to teach them still. And children love best when they are happy. A noisy classroom does not mean it is an unorganized class. A noisy classroom can also mean that the children are enjoying and participating. So please make sure that your children are happy, because happy children receive learning better, it registers better, it stays for them for life. Otherwise, it is a simple mugging up of ideas that they do 2 days before the exam, write it on the paper, and forget the next day. Believe me, we are nation builders, and we do not want a nation that forgets whatever the learning is. We, as nation builders, have to ensure that our children will take their learning in the future where they use it fruitfully. And for that, you, my friends, have to be ready. You have to be ready with live examples, real life examples, and your children will learn things better, they will understand things better, and that, I guess, is our role. I always talk a lot about future ready citizens because the future is unknown. We do not know what the technology would be of the future. Our teachers made us future ready. So, whatever comes, accept, learn, and go ahead. So we have to teach our children how to unlearn, learn, and relearn.